Okay. Hello, ladies and gents. Big Cammy 007 here, and welcome to another Big Cammy's Top 10. Last time I did this, it was which is my favorite Sonic game. But this time, we are going to be talking about. That's a funny way to start off a video. Nice going, Cameron. Anyway, we're going to be talking about this Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's been a month since this game was released. And let me tell you, I've been having a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun with it. In fact, I think most of the fun of this is because, well, 70 plus fighters, 100 plus stages. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, 72 playable characters. That is a lot. Hi, Chris. And I looked at this roster, and I figured, why not do a top 10 of my personal favorites? Of course, this is all my personal favorites. If you have any of your personal favorites, please let me know in the comments below, your top 10. But for now, of course, this being my top 10, this will be my personal favorites. Right. We are first starting off this list with Little Mac. Now, I like Little Mac because despite his lightweight physique, he's pretty much a heavy hitter. He could pretty much tango with the heaviest of hitters. Heck, even tangoing up with even Charizard. But but of course, the reason why I'm putting Little Mac low on this list is basically because of two words: air game. When Little Mac's feet are on the ground, he's pretty much a threat to, again, even the heavyweight fighters that might pose anyone else trouble. But just as soon as his feet leaves the ground, all that what makes him a threat vanishes. So yeah, despite his air game not being that great, I find Little Mac to be quite enjoyable. I mean, being one of the first characters to graduate from Assist Trophy Academy to become a full-fledged combatant since Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, I find Little Mac to be quite enjoyable, and I really do like that little KO uppercut that he has, because one well-placed KO uppercut, boom, will send you on a trip to your maker. It's that powerful. So, but all in all, despite Little Mac's air game being the suckest suck that ever sucked, I enjoy Little Mac. Alright, number 9. The number 9 spot goes to the Inkling from Splatoon. Being the first newcomer to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I find Inkling to be quite interesting. Because, well, I played the Splatoon games. I've played the first one and the second one. The first being on the Wii U and the second on the Switch. Never was fond of the second one, though I have my reasons. But, yeah, I find Inkling to be quite unique in Smash Ultimate. Because the mechanic with the Inkling was that the more you covered your opponent with ink, the more damage they take from you. But of course, you also have to keep an eye on the ink tank, because weapons lose their effectiveness if you run out of ink. But of course, you can refill your ink at any time by pressing the shield and special to dip down into your ink to refuel and reload. Now, I find that more bearable than Little Mac's less than subpar air game, because I can deal with the whole ink thing. But of course, just like in Splatoon, that pretty much leaves you vulnerable. So, but all in all, I find Inkling to be quite an interesting character in Smash. All right, number 8. The number 8 spot goes to Wolf from Star Fox. Of course, This coming from someone that wanted to get the Nintendo Switch version of Starlink because of, well, these. But I digress. Wolf was one of my personal favorites in Sprawl. He was one of my personal favorite characters because I thought he looked pretty cool. But back in Brawl, he was based off of Star Fox Assault, which was one of my personal favorite Star Fox games. And nowadays, in Ultimate, he's based off of his appearance in Star Fox Zero, another one of my personal favorite Star Fox games. So, and I really like how much better they made him in Ultimate than they did in Brawl. Because I think Brawl felt kind of rushed. Because I think he was one of the last minute additions to the game, which probably caused its delay. But all in all, I find Wolf to be quite an enjoyable character. But of course, he's just one of the two characters I play as sometimes in Brawl. The other goes to my number 7, King DDD. Now, of all the Kirby characters, I find King DDD to be quite enjoyable. And of course, he's one of the characters to have 3 different Final Smashes. Yes, the Wolfadon from Star Fox, you know, the leader of Star Wolf. Anyway, back to my list. My number 7 is King DDD from the Kirby series. Now, King DDD and Wolf were sometimes one of my often characters to play as in Smash Brothers Brawl. Although from what I've heard, King DDD has 3 different Final Smashes. In Brawl, it was his Waddle Dee army, which looked good on paper, but didn't do quite well. He had a different Final Smash in Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, in which he sucked up his opponents near him and used his hammer to wail on them with his hammer. But this time around, I think he has the better Final Smash, where if he hits his opponent with a hammer, they be transported to some sort of ring. They be bombarded with missiles, and DDD donning his masked DDD mask, spins around and hammers the opponent right through the cage. I find that to be the better Final Smash for DDD. Plus, since DDD is a heavyweight, one second. Right. Controller. Since DDD is pretty much a heavyweight, he could pretty much take a truckload of punishment. So, that's why I like the King DDD so much. Alright, and my number 6 spot goes to Sonic. Now, Sonic was the second non-Nintendo character to join Super Smash Bros. And, of course, some people would say that he was one of the reasons why Brawl was delayed. But just as soon as I got my hands on the Wii as well as Super Smash Bros. Brawl, he was one of the most often played as characters. And of course, I think one of the reasons why Sonic was included, we have the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series for that. That and you know, I'm a Sonic person, even though clearly I'm wearing a Mario shirt. Now, now for Ultimate Sonic's Final Smash, it's gotten a change where you no longer control Super Sonic, which may seem like a good idea, but I don't think some people were interested in that. I think they liked being able to control Super Sonic, but that's just me. I mean, its Final Smash just gotten more decent in Ultimate, but that's just me. But I really liked playing as Sonic in Brawl, as well as in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and I seem to enjoy playing as him in Ultimate. Alright. Number 4? No, not 5. 5, I miscounted. Number 5, Dark Pit. Now, before anyone says anything, yes, I have played Kid Icarus Uprising before, and it is an alright game on the 3DS. It was pretty good. But I think out of all the characters that first debuted in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, Dark Pit was really interesting. And I actually preferred Dark Pit over Vanilla Pit. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because of the Final Smash that he uses, which is the Dark Pit staff, which he can be able to use to snipe people from afar, which seemed pretty cool to me. But all in all, I actually like playing as Dark Pit more than Vanilla Pit. So, yeah. I mean, I found him to be enjoyable in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and I really find him enjoyable here in Smash Ultimate. So that's something. Number 4, Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo had been in Super Smash Bros. Melee as the unlockable character that you get for playing 20 cumulative hours of the game. But it was totally worth it when you unlocked Mewtwo, because Mewtwo was my go-to character in Melee. My go-to character. Because I don't think there was a Pokemon representative in Melee better than Mewtwo. So, yeah, I was pretty bummed that he was not in Melee. Not Melee, Brawl. He was in Brawl. He started out in Melee, but he didn't appear in Brawl. Why did I stutter there for a minute? But when he returned in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U as DLC, I was excited. In fact, back when Club Nintendo was still a thing, I was able to get both Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U and register them to Club Nintendo, so I could be able to get the download code for Mewtwo. Not only that, I got me a little CD as a bonus, so jackpot for me. And in Melee, he didn't have a Final Smash because Final Smashes weren't a thing until Brawl. Of course, the modding community then made the famous mod for Brawl called Project M, which had Mewtwo in it, and they gave him a Final Smash, but it was basically the same as Lucario's Aura Storm. But here from Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, as well as Ultimate, they gave him a proper Final Smash where he Mega Evolves into Mega Mewtwo Y, my personal favorite Mega Evolution for Mewtwo, and he uses Side Strike to attack his opponents. Now, I thought that was a better Final Smash than what he got in Project M. But again, opinions. Alright, next up, number 2, Ryu. Yeah, imagine my surprise when I found out that Ryu, of all characters, was going to be in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U as DLC. I mean, at first I didn't think that that a character from an already existing fighting game would work in Smash Bros., but sure enough, he does. I mean, it was kind of unique because they were able to implement the Street Fighter mechanics into the moveset that is Ryu. I mean, being able to perform special moves either the Smash Brothers way, which is the up, down, left, or left and right with the B button, or using the Street Fighter commands, which is the quarter circle and attack for the Hadouken, the quarter circle back and attack for the Tatsumaki Seppuku, and the forward down, downward forward and attack for the Shoryuken. I thought that was pretty unique. And what made Ryu stand out, head and shoulders above the rest of the characters, was that he had 2 final smashes. Pulling off the final smash from a distance resulted in the Shinku Hadouken. But pulling off the final smash when you're right up close and personal right in your opponent's face, you'd pull off the Shin Shoryuken. And I thought that, and I gotta admit, that's actually, pretty unique back in Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. But now in Smash Ultimate, even though he retains all of that, it also sparked the Echo Fighter that is Ken in Smash Ultimate. But all in all, I liked Ryu. I really do, and I still like Ryu to this day. Alright, the number 2. Bayonetta. Yeah, back when Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U were still fairly new, they did a Smash Fighter ballot, and that was where you go and vote for whoever you wanted to see in Smash Bros., and whoever got the most votes, that would be the character to be in Smash Bros. And after all was said and done, and the smoke cleared, here was the winner. And 2 things. One, I've already played the Bayonetta games before Bayonetta was confirmed for Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. And secondly, a friend of mine thinks that the Smash Fighter ballot was not for Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, but for Smash Ultimate, which is a bunch of BS. And speaking of, Bayonetta's gotta be something else. I mean, being able to have a special that could be able to slow down your opponents, that it's kind of like a counter. That's gotta be cool. And plus being able to still attack from holding the attack button. I thought that was pretty cool, and that what made her my number 1 main in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U at that time. Plus, I thought her final smash was pretty neat too. Of course, you gotta have to learn how to use it, because once you activate the final smash, the whole stage goes into witch time, and everyone else moves slowly, well, except for Bayonetta, and you have to attack opponents to fill up the gauge. And once that gauge is full, that's when she summons Gamora and chomps down on her unfortunate victim. And if said victim has like more than over 100% damage, dead. And I thought that was pretty cool. But of course, like I said, she was my number 1 main in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. And of course, some people complain about her as broken. Believe them. But nowadays in Smash Ultimate, she's actually, well, in terms of my favorite characters, she's still my favorite, but she dropped a spot. So, who is my new number 1 main, my new number 1 character, you ask? Now, before I do that, let us honor the characters, the more favorite characters. Let us before I go on to reveal my number one favorite, my number one favorite character in Smash Ultimate, let's honor my other favorite characters that didn't make my list, but they all touched me in a way they never thought possible. Pikachu. Pikachu was has been around in Smash Bros. Since the original for the N64 and was probably the first of many of my favorite characters. But of course, I haven't played as Pikachu in who knows how long. So maybe after this, I might play as him for a bit. So let's see. Bowser. Now, Bowser has been around since Melee, and I thought he was a pretty interesting heavyweight in terms of the Mario series. Plus his final smash being able to turn into the once boss character from Melee, Giga Bowser, was pretty awesome in my opinion. Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers has been another character since Melee, and I really like playing as the Ice Climbers in Melee and Brawl. So yeah, I was a bit bummed out that they didn't make Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. And the funny thing about that is, even though the main reason why they didn't make it into Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U was because of the limitations of the 3DS. They thought they couldn't handle the Ice Climbers. And yet, they made fun about that in, they poked fun about that in Pitt's, Palutena's guidance, when they said that, when, Pitt asked that, weren't they, banned for, quote-unquote, illegal teaming. Well, they're back in Smash Bros. Ultimate now, and their illegal teaming is just as legal as a headlock, so... Okay. Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight was the first of the newcomers for Brawl, and people say that he was infamously broken in that game. And, but all in all, I found Meta Knight to be quite enjoyable, even though, of all the Kirby characters, I've actually been playing as, I played as King Dedede more than Meta Knight, so there's that. Oh yeah. Lucina. Lucina is a Marth's Echo character who debuted in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and at first I didn't know what to think of her, grown to like her, and I actually prefer playing as Lucina more than Marth, so, there's that. There's that. Okay. Mega Man. Mega Man, it took, took 3 Smash Bros. Games to make the dream of Mega Man in Smash Bros. A reality, with his inclusion in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. And I thought Mega Man would be hands down a pretty cool character, considering that he has all the weapons from the Robot Masters that he had to deal with, such as the Slash Claw, the Flame Sword, the Hard Knuckle, the Air Shooter, and those are just his air special. Those are just his air neutrals, his air attacks. Plus, his final smash I thought was pretty awesome because, first off, he fires off a black hole bomb, and if that sucks you in, you pretty much get mega blasted in the face by, let's see, original. by 5 different versions of Mega Man: the original, X, EXE, Full Nut, and Star Force. And of course, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate upped the ante with that Final Smash by adding Proto Man and Bass. So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright. The Mii Fighters. I thought the Mii Fighters were pretty interesting because, you know, you get to, like, customize them however you want them. Like, being able to customize what they wore, like their outfit and hat. I thought that's pretty cool. Plus, they come in 3 different classes: the Brawler, the Gunner, and the Sword Fighter. Now, I thought that was pretty cool because originally in Brawl, they were not supposed to be in. They did not. The Mii's, as well as Villager, did not make it into Brawl because they were, quote, too peaceful to be fighters. More like pacifists, more to say. Well, if you play the boxing game of the Wii Sports game, you might say otherwise. But all in all, I thought the Mii Fighters were pretty cool characters. Plus, since plus in Smash Bros. Ultimate, I find it kind of hilarious that the Brawler Mii that I made, seeing my Mii Brawler tackling the characters of Smash Brothers wearing the Labo Robot kit. I thought that's pretty awesome. Pac-Man. I thought Pac-Man was a pretty unique character because his randomness would be, you know, his uniqueness, being able, you know, coming from an arcade game where I think pattern memorization had to be a thing, but you gotta watch out for, like, the random things that the ghost did. And I find Pac-Man to be quite an enjoyable character. Bowser Jr. Now, I was a bit skeptical of Bowser Jr. at first, but like but like Lucina, I actually got to play as him more, got to know him a little bit better, and I've actually warmed up to him. And and I really like how his alternates are basically the other 7 Koopalings. And before you ask, yes, I'm counting Bowser Jr. as a Koopaling, because he is Bowser's kid after all. And that was another thing I want to talk about Pac-Man, Chris. Now that you mentioned Street Fighter Cross Tekken, when I wanted to see Pac-Man in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, I thought he was gonna have the Mokujin mech from Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but nope, he didn't do that. And since you brought that up, another reason why I was peeved off at Bowser Jr. was because, they would let Bowser Jr. have his Koopa Clown Car, but not let Pac-Man have his Mokujin mech from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I thought that was not fair. But nowadays, that's water under the bridge. But that's water under the bridge now. Duck Hunt. Now, I thought Duck Hunt, like Bowser Jr., I was a bit skeptical about Duck Hunt. But of course, after getting to know Duck Hunt more, I got to thinking maybe these two aren't the trolling schmucks I thought they were. I mean, I don't play as them as often, but they are pretty interesting characters. Then Cloud from Final Fantasy. I was a bit surprised that they brought Cloud to Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U as DLC. I was a bit surprised about that. But if anything, I have an idea about that. If you all are familiar with the first, with the with like the web browser game called Super Smash Flash, not the second one, the first one. Um, One of the unlockable characters in that fan game was Cloud. So I thought maybe they may have taken notes from that fan game and thought maybe Cloud might be a good choice for Smash Brothers. So while Super Smash Flash was the first time was the unofficial first time Mario and Cloud fought each other, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U marked the official first time the two would throw down. And of course, like Bayonetta, the consistents refer to Cloud as broken. Believe them. And Incineroar. Now, I had my gripes when Incineroar was first announced, alongside Ryu's Echo Fighter Ken. But when I got to trying out Incineroar, let me tell you, he is mad fun to play as. Really, he is. I mean, if you could be able to get the timing of his Irish Whip into his into that lariat, or as I call it, the clothesline from hell, you're holding some awesome in your hand. Now, I was gonna have him on my list, but my list rules stated that I can only have one character per series, so I had to go with Mewtwo. So, sorry, Incineroar. Alright, and finally, my number one favorite character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. He was one of the first 5 newcomers to be announced for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and the first non-Nintendo character, aka third-party character, to be in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In fact, Snake and Sonic were the 2 reasons why I wanted this. Now, while I may not know squat about Metal Gear Solid, though it does come from someone whose only Metal Gear game that he legitimately owns is this, Metal Gear Rising, which, by the way, hashtag Riding for Smash Brothers, down in the comments, please and thank you. I found Snake to be actually an enjoyable character. Some people, when Brawl first came out, some people looked at Snake and thought that his inclusion in Brawl was about on par with the Star Wars characters in Soul Calibur 4. In other words, out of place. But to me, did that make Snake any less fun to play as? Heck no! In fact, if I was playing Brawl, I would often play as Sonic, if not Sonic, Snake. And if not Snake, it would either be Wolf or King Dedede. So yeah, when Snake didn't make the cut in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, I was really bummed out. So after playing as other third-party characters, that being Pac-Man, Mega Man, Ryu, Cloud, and Bayonetta, when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came around and they did their whole everyone is here thing, you could tell I was really ecstatic when they brought Solid Snake back. And looking at the stats, the battle stats in Smash Bros. In my copy of Smash Bros. Ultimate, Snake has been one of the characters I've played most often, even more than Bayonetta, and that's saying something. So after all this time, ever since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I only got 5 words to say to you, Snake. Stay glad to see you're back! Alright. Now before I go, my secret number 11 on my list is Dr. Mario. Now, like Mewtwo, Dr. Mario was one of my go-to characters, and truth be told, I actually preferred Dr. Mario over Vanilla Mario, much like I prefer Dark Pit over Vanilla Pit, and Lucina more than Marth. So, yeah. And like Mewtwo, I was bummed out that he didn't make Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So when I saw that he was brought back to Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and this was before the DLCs were announced, before Mewtwo came back, yeah, I was happy that Dr. Mario was back. So, so he was my go-to character in Melee, and I sometimes played as him in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and I do play as Dr. Mario from time to time. Alright, so that is my top 10 list of all my favorite fighters in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If there's any character that you like that did or did not make this list, please comment to me your favorite top 10 in the comments below. And thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And as always, I will see y'all in the next video. So until then, ta-ta!